We start with the aftermath of the Senate vote ending the government shutdown before they sent the legislation over to the House. They're now a school of thought from Joe Scarborough, my friend, and others who say, and the Washington Post and New York Times both wrote pieces about this, who say this was actually a huge win for the Democrats. Bernie Sanders is wrong. All the interest groups are wrong. This was huge because it's put healthcare front and center, and it's set the Republicans up for massive defeat. Dan, how do you subscribe to that school of thought? And if not, why not?
I mean, to some extent, which is why I've said it for 2 months. I mean, I've always said this, that the healthcare, if you could just isolate that issue, which is kind of where we are coming out of this, and affordability, it is in the big picture, in the long run, a win. What is not a win is if you just look at what they were trying to do, which is say, we'll only reopen the government if you do A or B, A and B, and they did not. In that sense, it is a loss because ultimately where the other side is they feel like after the Tuesday elections, with Trump saying that the shutdown is hurting us Republicans and polling showing that we were up, the other school is, hey, like we were about to break them. Now, the other side says, like, okay, so how long were we going to wait? Like a month, 2 months, and all the real pain that was going to happen. So I do think that is, Joe and others are not wrong, but the party's got to stop the circular firing squad.
Sean, why does Bernie Sanders see this differently than Dan and Joe?
Because he's actually living in reality. I mean, this is the equivalent of when you get broken up by your girlfriend and all your buddies go, dude, you need to see other people anyway. Like this is so I mean, anybody who thinks that this was like, if you're a Democrat, I agree with Dan. Strategically, you get to move on to the real fight, but the reality is you caved, you lost, you got nothing for it after 41 days. And so I mean, I get why they're sugarcoating this, but the reality is they got dumped.
Well, I don't fully agree with that because we're going to get to the headlines. It's all about healthcare and affordability.
Right, but here's my
But
point.
that's because of this. That was
Okay,
not
but
that was not there prior to the shutdown.
yes, so tell me what's different between this and let's just call it 30 days ago. The offer on the table was the same.
But that's the bigger issue now is the public is all talking about healthcare. If you look in surveys, it's a top four issue now. It
It
was
was a
not
top
prior.
four issue
It was
30 days
not.
ago.
It was not in the summer. We were talking about crime. We were talking about immigration. I mean, it was not, right? Doge over the spring. Like it is now front and center as we head into the midterms.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.